The Phillies, they have little bit of a pitching problem. Tyler Mroz, Heat Ratio Sports, Phillies postgame show. That was brutal. The Phillies lost to the Royals tonight, 7-4. Game 1 of this 3-game weekend series. I'm just going to go right to it. There is one reason, and one reason only, why the Phillies lost this game. Taijuan Walker. He went 3 innings. 3 innings. The guy that's supposed to be an inning eater. He goes 3 innings. Gives up 8 hits, 6 runs, and 2 home runs. One that went into the fountains in deep left center field. Abysmal. That's all I can really say about how Taijuan Walker has been, not just since he's returned from the IL in his last 3 starts. The whole entire year. There hasn't been a game where this entire year where he's given up 0 runs. He's given up at least 1 every game he's pitched. That is unacceptable. You are making close to $20 million a year. $20 million a year. And your job is to come in. You don't have to be the greatest pitcher in the world. You just can't be the worst. But Taijuan Walker is really making that case, unfortunately. Unfortunate for him, a former All-Star, and unfortunate for the Phillies, who are now in desperate need of a 5th starter. The Phillies are 1-9 in their last 10 games that Taijuan Walker pitches. They're on an 8-game losing streak. The last 8 games Taijuan Walker has started, the 4 games before he got hurt and the 4 games after he got hurt, they have all lost. And you just cannot do that. And the Braves just won again tonight. So now the Braves are 5 games back. Phillies still got 2 more games against the Royals in Kansas City. But by the way, the Phillies are just 1 game over 500 on the road now. They're 32-31, I believe. So you got 2 more games on the road. And then you got to play the Astros, who have been red hot. And then you play the Braves for 4 games. So every game matters. So there is no reason as to why Taijuan Walker, especially after tonight, should see the field again. Ranger Suarez comes back tomorrow. Taijuan Walker should, I don't know if they DFA him. I don't know if they option him to AAA. They need to do something. Taijuan Walker cannot come back on the field for the Phillies if they are serious about winning. He's not going to pitch in the playoffs. He didn't last year, and he had a way gazillion times better of a season last year than this year. So I'd rather have Tyler Phillips over him. I honestly would. I just don't see it. Do you Perry Minnesota? I don't think Ron Washington will be. Perry, I'm not sure, but Taijuan Walker should be fired. I know that. Taijuan Walker should be optioned tomorrow when Ranger Suarez is activated. Gilbert came in and he pitched fine. He pitched 2 innings. He gave up 1 run. He pitched fine. He's fine. Same with Lazar. I'm very impressed with Max Lazar, but there is absolutely 0 reason as to why Taijuan Walker should be on this team tomorrow. No reason. 3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs. Oh man, and let me pull up his previous starts. It's not like last year where he was fine and the Phillies were just winning games. They are not even winning games because it's hard to. It's hard to come back when your starting pitcher in 3 innings gives up 6 runs. That is unacceptable. If you are not even a starting pitcher on not even a playoff contender, on a team that's serious about winning a World Series. Let's talk about Taijuan Walker's previous starts. 6 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 4, 5. Since coming back, 1 home run, 2 home runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 1 walk. His numbers are just getting worse and worse. His ERA before tonight was a 5.69. Now it's a 6.26. You cannot have your back end of the rotation guy have a over 6 ERA, borderline. Like even if you're a little bit over 5, you question, should this guy even be in the rotation? But you have a 6.36 ERA. Absolutely not. There is no reason Taijuan Walker, after tomorrow, should be on this active roster. He should not even be in the starting rotation. Rob Thompson, at the very least, can do that. I don't even think Dave Dombrowski can justify starting him. I know you're paying him all this money. You're probably going to want to start the guy you paid all that money to, gave a big contract to. But at the end of the day, you just cannot do that at this point. He has been one of the worst pitchers I think the Phillies have had in recent history. And we're talking about teams that were losing over 100 games. This team was on pace to win 100 games. But Taijuan Walker is not going to help you at all. Like, he's not even doing stuff last year. Like, last year, he was winning games. He might have had a mid to high 4 ERA, but he was still winning games. The Phillies were winning games. He was starting. This year, they cannot have the opportunity to do that. The worst part is the offense looked pretty good tonight. They had 11 hits, 12 hits, and scored 4 runs. Brandon Marsh, I'm going to get to him, but he looked great tonight. The Phillies have a pitching problem and they need to figure it out. There's a zero negative reason, in fact, that Taijuan Walker should not only be in the starting rotation, but he should not even be on the active roster right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they DFA'd him. His contract gets less and less, so the Phillies can afford to eat it. His velocity's off. I don't know if he's still hurt, but he's pitching worse than he was earlier this season. It's a big one. You mentioned how the Braves won earlier. Mets are playing in San Diego right now. Phillies have lost 4 of their last 5. Back to their losing ways. And shout out to Tony for saying this. He said he doesn't know how to feel about the Phillies because they go on this losing streak and then they start winning and then they go on another big losing streak. They're very inconsistent right now. And one night it could be the bats are really hot. Like tonight, the bats were hot, but the bats were good. But you have a starting pitcher that gives up 6 runs in 3 innings. So you really are out of it from the start. And then there's other nights where Zach Wheeler, he can throw a great game, give up 3 runs, but then the offense just doesn't do anything. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's wrong with my burping. But players of the game, Salvador Perez. Ages like fine wine. Arguably a Hall of Famer. I think he is. Multiple-time All-Star, Gold Glove winner. Did he win Platinum? I don't know. But Silver Slugger, World Series winner. Should and most likely will be a Hall of Famer. 2 for 4. Had that long home run against Taijuan Walker tonight. It went 434 feet, and he's, 36 years old? And he's hitting a ball 434 feet, which is insane. Michael Wacha was also really good for the Royals tonight. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. So yeah, what's next for Taijuan Walker? I want to know, everybody that's watching's thoughts. Are we overreacting? I don't think we are. He has over a 6 ERA and over 10 starts. But what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to stay in the rotation? Do you think they give him a little bit more time? Do you think he moves to the bullpen? Or do you think tomorrow Ranger Suarez is activated and Taijuan Walker is gone? So let me know what you think. Stop striking out. I mean, last time I checked, it was only 6 strikeouts for the Phillies. But Kyle Schwarber struck out 3 of those times. So not a bad night for the offense. The offense was actually pretty decent tonight. I mean, obviously not that great, but 4 runs, 11 hits. I mean, you're down 6-0 from the get-go, from the 3rd inning. So, or 6-1, sorry. But I just, man, why couldn't the night where the bullpen and the pitchers do really well be like, they just can't line up? Whether they get run support or pitching support, you press one, the other one doesn't work. And talked about Bobby Witt, but he went 1 for 4, had a stolen base, didn't really do much, wasn't the biggest reason as to why the Royals won. Michael Massey was 2 for 4. The pass watch, Vinny Pasquantino 2 for 5. Salvi was 2 for 4. Paul DeYoung having a really good season. He was 2 for 3. So the rest of the Royals team just stepped up. Obviously, you had the Salvador Perez home run, And then later on in that same inning, you have the Hunter Renfroe home run. He also went over 400 feet, went 412. Just an ugly, ugly loss. But what wasn't ugly was our night tonight on the HRS Triple play. So let's see how we did. Had a pretty good night. We had actually a really good night. We went 2 for 3. Taijuan Walker, as poorly as he did pitching, he did help us out. Under 15 and a half outs recorded. He recorded 3 outs? So 9 outs. So hit that, minus 115. Kyle Schwarber, 5 at-bats, did not get on base at all. Struck out 3 times. 2+ total bases, did not get that. But Bryce Harper, over 1.5 HRR, got that in, I believe, his second at-bat, hit a single, scored a run. Was that his second at-bat or is that his first at-bat? Yeah, that was his second at-bat. Yeah, Bryce Harper got another hit too. He had 2 hits tonight. So, yeah, 2 for 3. Bonus bet was Kyle Schwarber hitting home run. Did not get that. But it's okay. Still go 2 for 4. That's a really good night. The streak continues. We've been hitting every night at Heat Ratio Sports on these pregame shows. So, these are also powered by Win Daily. So, interested in Win Daily. Use your code HEAT. Get 50% off using your code word HEAT on Win Daily for the best bets. 2 for 3 on the main bets. Taijuan Walker, under 15 and a half outs recorded, and Bryce Harper over 1.5 HRR. Those both hit. Oh, man. So Taijuan Walker. Oh, man. Taijuan Walker. Talk about the Braves. They beat the Nationals in extra innings, 3-2. It was 2-2 going into the 10th, and then the Braves pulled through. They win that game. The Mets playing at San Diego right now. Let me see what the score is. 6-0 Padres. So looking like the Mets will not be gaining a game on the Phillies, but the Braves do. So the Braves are now just 5 games back. You know who's almost back? Ranger Suarez. He is the projected pitcher for tomorrow. Is going to be likely activated, just like Austin Hayes was activated before the game today. Ranger Suarez will likely be activated right before the lineup comes out. Hopefully it's Taijuan Walker getting optioned. He's just not been a good pitcher so far, but Ranger Suarez, 10-5, a 2.87 ERA. Hasn't been himself, but hasn't pitched in a little bit over a month. So we'll see how he does. Brady Singer on the mound for the Royals, 9-8, a 3.18 ERA. He's been very good for a very good Royals rotation. So again, Royals beat the Phillies 7-4. Taijuan Walker, 3 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits, 2 home runs, a massive 5-run inning in the bottom of the 3rd for the Royals. What's next for Taijuan? Let me know what you all think. Offense had a decent night. Let's get to Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh had a very good night. He was 2 for 4, I believe, with an RBI. Did he hit an RBI? Yes, he did. He was 2 for 4 tonight. I had a lot of good at-bats. So Brandon Marsh, very positive signs. I was questionable about it because I'm a big Johan Rojas guy, and he's been showing a lot of power lately, but glad Brandon Marsh was able to provide something for the Phillies tonight. They had a good night offensively, but Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner combined 0 for 10. That's a big reason as to why you don't win either. Your top 2 guys cannot be 0 for, especially when you get 5 at-bats. Your top 2 guys in 10 at-bats can't even get on base. The rest of the lineup, everybody got a hit. Castellanos, Harper, Muto, and Marsh got 2 hits each. So Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, they need to do better. Taijuan Walker needs to do better. Brandon Marsh, very, very good game from him tonight. And the Phillies made some good defensive plays. Austin Hayes made a leaping catch. Nick Castellanos made a leaping catch. Austin Hayes did bobble a throw in left field, but it didn't look like he had a chance at getting the runner anyway. But nonetheless, still pretty good night for the Phillies offense minus Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner. HRS Triple play. 2 for 3. Make sure you're using that code HEAT at Win Daily, getting your 50% off. Pregame live tomorrow at 6. Games scheduled to start at 7:10. So I'll be live here as always on Heat Ratio Sports for the pregame show. Get to talk about who Ranger Suarez is going to be replacing. Is it going to be Max Lazar? Is it going to be Tyler Gilbert? Is it going to be Taijuan Walker? We shall see. We'll have it all covered here on the Phillies not postgame. This is the postgame show. We'll have it all covered on the Phillies pregame show tomorrow, Saturday night at 6 p.m. I hope to see you there. I hope we can finally talk about a good Phillies win. So as always, hopefully that game didn't stress you out too much. I know it did stress people out, but hopefully didn't stress you all out too much. Hopefully you guys get a great night of sleep. If you watched that performance tonight, you deserve an awesome night of sleep. You deserve the best night of sleep you've ever had. So as always, been Tyler Mroz, live Heat Ratio Sports for the Phillies pre and post game shows. So excited to be here. I can't stress that enough. Tony's building a great group of people here. He's building an awesome team. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about this too. The Mariners did fire their manager, Scott Servais. They had a 10-game lead in the division, and they fired him. Shout out to interim manager Dan Wilson. That's one of my best friend's names. So screenshotted that notification, sent it to our fantasy league, said, congrats, Commish. Proud of you. All your baseball knowledge. I knew you'd someday be an interim manager for the Mariners, but obviously it's not my actual friend. It's a former player from the Mariners, and Edgar Martinez they hired as the interim hitting coach. So that should be interesting. So it's late August, so we'll see if that move can benefit the Mariners. So yeah, pregame live tomorrow here at 6 p.m. Ranger Suarez versus Brady Singer. Have a good night, everybody. Appreciate you all so much for watching. As always, been Tyler Mroz, Heat Ratio Sports. Like, comment, subscribe. Press that notification bell. You get notified 30 minutes before we go live, and you get notified when we go live. So make sure you're doing that. You get all the best content here, and you got even more great content soon, which we are excited to be sharing very, very shortly. So have a good night, everyone. Been Tyler Mroz. Stay fresh, my friends.